bit, FAT, 32-bit, and NTFS. So those file systems we have. Got it, guys? So FAT that 16, FAT 32, NTFS. NTFS file system. FAT stands for File Allocated Table 16-bit. FAT stands for File Allocated Table 16-bit. So FAT stands for File Allocated Table 32-bit. Got it, guys? NTFS stands for New Technology File System. New Technology File System. I hope you got it, guys. Like the same way, right? So if you go to network NFS, if you need to store the data into CDFS file system, we have CD, right? So if you need to store the data into the CDFS file system. So if you need to install Windows, NFS is a file system. I hope you got it, guys. To store the data, we need file system. With the help of that file system, we are going to save the data into our secondary storage device. Hard disk is a secondary storage device. I hope you got it, guys. Right? So, what is the difference between new means? Actually, it's introduced to us from XP onwards. Right? So, coming to FAT. Before XP, we'll have FAT. Before XP. Till XP, will have FAT file system. Coming to NTFS, they introduced to us from XP onwards. From XP. Right? So, from XP onwards, they introduced to us NTFS. Before XP, FAT. Right? XP will support NTFS and as well as FAT, both file systems. Right? So what is the difference between FAT and NTFS? Where we need to use? Always new operating system from XP onwards, it is going to support NTFS file system only. New technology file system. Like our JCBs. Usually, if you need to clean the plot, if you call few workers, they will take time. Maybe 1 day, 2 days like this. If you call JCB, how much time? Hardly 2 hours. सब clear करके चले जाएगा. Means fast first. Fast. Okay. Next, one more advantage in NTFS. In FAT file system, we doesn't have file and folder security. FAT file system doesn't have file and folder security. Coming to NTFS onwards, they introduced to us file and folder security. I hope you got it, guys. The differences between so actually this is not related to us. So but you should understand, then only you are going to understand remaining concepts, right? So FAT 32 means file allocation table 32 for XP and before XP operating systems. From XP onwards, they introduced to us NTFS, new technology file system, right? So NTFS at having file and folder security. I hope you got it, right? With the help of NTFS, we are going to format the hard disk. We'll have bootable pen drive, bootable DVD. With the help of that bootable pen drive and bootable DVD, we are going to boot and then we are going to format. Got it, guys? So automatically, Windows having one good feature, it will assign C drive letter. Why C? Why not A? Why not B? Already we discussed while we were discussing about file system hierarchy. A and B, it's reserved for floppy, like that we discussed. C, it's reserved for hard disk. Maybe if you're creating one more partition, D. If you're connecting another device, E. Like this, Windows having one good feature. If you format, if you're installing the operating system, automatically it will assign one drive letter for secondary storage device. Already, what is drive letter? We discussed long back while we were discussing about file system hierarchy at the time, right? So A and B, it's reserved for floppy. Nowadays, no one they're using floppy. So that's why by default, A to Z drive letters will have A to Z. A to Z drive letters will have. So A and B, it's reserved for floppy. C, it's reserved for hard disk, right? This is hard disk, so that's why Windows automatically it is going to provide the C drive letter for this one. So inside this C drive letter, we are trying to installing Windows 10 operating system with the help of NTFS file system. I hope you got it, guys. So now we clean the hard disk, means we format it and then we install the operating system, right? So it will become total one ground. I hope you clear. The entire hard disk size is 1 TB. You have your personal data, you have your official data where we need to store inside the C drive itself only. So because total C drive is a 1 TB, your data always where we are going to store inside the C drive itself only. Like coming to this plot, right? It became one ground. It became one ground, right? So we can stay there. Can we keep our home appliances? Yes, always we can keep our home appliances. If you want, you can keep washing machine, refrigerator, get some power from the pole, right? And then so you can keep the like washing machine, television, right? And the refrigerator, whatever it AC doesn't need because it's open, right? I hope you got it, guys, right? Yes, no. So we can keep our home appliances also, but it doesn't have the security. This is one playground, right? If you keep your home appliances there, what will happen? Because of weather, you are going to lose your products. Because of thieves, you are going to lose your products. Means it doesn't have the security. If you keep those all the home appliances into that particular plot, like the same way, if you our home appliances is our data. So if you try to storing like your personal data, official data into C drive, what will happen? Maybe in future, if it is affected by virus, then again we need to format entire C drive. C drive means entire 1 TB hard disk. If your formatting means what will happen? You are going to lose your entire data. I hope you got it, guys. You are going to lose the entire data. So clear. So that's why what we need to do coming to plot. क्या करना चाहिए? What we need to do to save our home appliances? Before purchasing the home appliances, first we need to build the home. That's it, na? So now, how you are going to build the home? First, we need to get the plan from the engineer. Yes, no. According to that plan, we need to create the partitions. That's it, na? So, for example, I need 2 BHK. Then what I am going to do? What I am going to do? One bedroom and another bedroom, kitchen. Always what we need, guys? Bedrooms, kitchen, uh, a bathroom. Always we require. Okay, and so washing area, etc., etc. According to this. So, for example, this is one bedroom. So, what I am going to do with the help of this partition, we are going to build the home, right? So now we are going to purchase the home appliances. For example, I have purchased bed where I am going to keep the bed into bedroom. I have purchased AC, then I am going to keep the AC into my bedroom, right? I have purchased furniture where I'm going to keep that furniture into living room, hall, whatever it may be. We purchase plasma TV, then where we are going to keep? Always we are going to keep into living room itself only. And we purchased washing machine and we purchased refrigerator where you are going to keep the refrigerator and washing machine. Nowadays, like modern kitchens will have, so they are going to like put those all the kind of stuff, washing area, everything, kitchen room, kitchen itself only they are trying to deploying the washing machines and everything. I hope you got it, guys. So different partitions for different home appliances. So with the help of this partition, with the help of this home, those all the home appliances, it will become secure now. Got it, guys? Like the same way, coming to hard disk. Okay. So coming to hard disk, we require money. Without money, सब इसके पीछे भाग रहे, right? Abhishek. So let's see, guys, here. Now, what we are going to do? We are going to create the partitions. Guys, hardly for Windows operating system, for general purpose, if you need to install Windows 7 or Windows 11, whatever it may be, for general purpose, 100 GB is more than enough, right? 100 GB is more than enough. Maybe if you are trying to installing heavy application, then better to provide 150 to 100 GB, 150 to 200 GB like that. But general purpose, if you're using normal applications, right? So 100 GB is more than enough. Actually 40 GB it will occupy for operating system. Remaining 60 GB you can install different types of applications. If you need more, according to your requirement, you can use. For general purpose, 100 GB is enough, right? And remaining 900 GB will have. So in that 900 GB, what we are doing, according to our requirement, we are going to create the partitions. For example, D drive. So 200 GB D drive. Got it, guys? So inside the D drive, we are going to store our personal data, our pictures, our videos. So WhatsApp data will have, right? So like the data we are going to store, for example, right? And then we are trying to creating one more partition. We are trying to creating one more partition, E drive. There we are going to store our official data. Like this, how many partitions we can? So usually before build the home, we are going to believe on Vastu Shastra, right? Yes, no. Here also we'll have Vastu Shastra. Two types of Vastu Shastras we'll have. One is GPT partition schema. Another one is MBR partition schema. Got it, guys? So now we are going to discuss about MBR partition schema. MBR stands for Master Boot Record. MBR stands for Master Boot Record. So now we are going to discuss about MBR partition schema. Then I'll show you how we need to create the partition with GPT. So let's see, guys, here. Like this, how many partitions we can? For example, so coming to MBR partition schema, maximum possibilities of the partitions are 4. Got it, guys? Maximum possibilities of the partitions. How many partitions maximum possibilities? 4 partitions in MBR. Got it, guys? So what is that? How we need to create the 4 partitions? Now we are going to discuss. First partition, okay, primary partition, right? Another one is extended. Got it, guys? Maximum possibilities of the partitions are 4. If you create 4 primary partition, what will happen? Let's see. So usually in Vastu Shastra, people they are going to say, so if you build that bedroom, a remaining space we need to leave something kind of stuff we are going to discuss while we are trying to build the building, right, at the time. So like the same way, if you did 4 partition, what will happen? How much we occupied? 10, 100 plus 200, how much? 300, 300 plus 200, 5, 5 plus 2. Remaining how much space we'll have? Approximately 3 GB, 300 GB, not 3 GB, 300 GB, right? This 300 GB it will become unused. Got it, guys? So this is primary, okay? This is primary 100 GB, okay? This is primary 100 GB, right? And this is also primary, for example. This is also primary. If you create 4 primaries, what will happen in the sense? Remaining space it will become unused. This is a good deployment. No, right? Yes, no. So approximately 300 GB we are wasting. So we are unable to utilize this one. Then what we need to do? So we need to create 3 primaries, right? One extended, one extended. With the help of one extended partition, we can create 15 logical drives. I hope you got it, guys. Clear? How many? Maximum 15 to 16 partitions we can create. 15 extended. Extended means secondary. So primary, secondary, or technical word extended in MBR partition schema. So if you're using MBR partition schema, maximum possibilities of the partitions are 4. Maximum possibilities of the partitions are 4 only. Got it, guys? So if you are creating 4 primary partitions, remaining space it will become unused. We are unable to utilize, you are unable to store the data. So that's why what we need to do, create 3 primary partition, remaining space convert into extended secondary, and then with the help of this extended partition you can create maximum 15 logical drives. So means we need to delete this F. That's it now. Remaining how much space we have? Approximately 500 GB, not 300. 100 plus 200, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. Remaining how much we have? 500. So this 500 GB, what we are doing? We are trying to converting into extended. It's 500 GB. For example, F is a extended partition. Okay. Total how much? 500 GB extended. So guys, remember you are unable to store the data into extended partition. You are unable to store the data into extended partition. So with the help of this extended partition, we are going to create logical drives. Directly, you are unable to store the data into extended partition. Okay. So we need to create one logical drive. L means logical drive. Like this, how many logical drives we can? 15. Depends on your requirement, you can create the logical drives. I hope you got it, guys. So 500 GB, I use 200 GB from this 500 GB, remaining 300 will have. You can create 2 more logical drives. Then what is the difference between primary and logical drive? Yes, guys. What is the difference between primary and logical drive? What is the difference between EBS, SSD and HDD? I'm not asking full form. I'm asking what is the difference between SSD and HDD. SSD full form छोटा बच्चा भी बोल देगा. Main difference I need. Read write speed is different. No, 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 no. What is the difference between HDD and STD? How many types of EBS volumes will have? Tell me. हाँ? मैं 2 बोला बोल के 2 types बोल रहे हैं. मैं SSD HDD बोला बोल के 2 types बोल रहे हैं. क्या पढ़ रहे हैं सर आप लोग, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. How many types of EBS volumes will have? If you know that, then easily we're going to understand this one. 5 types. फरजाना कौन पढ़ा रहा है AWS आपको? huh? Only 3 types. Only 3 types. Not 5 types, not 6 types. SSD, HDD, then magnetic standard or previous generation. SSD again having 2 more types. General purpose SSD, then provisional IOPS. General purpose SSD having again 2 API names, GP2, GP3. IOPS having again 2 API names. API names. IO1. What is the difference between HDD and SSD? HDD having 2 types again. What is? Throughput and cold. What is the difference between GP2, GP3 and then throughput? क्या है main difference? Speed लगा रखा है यहाँ. क्या speed है? Are you going to measure the speed? how much work you are doing, you are into very initial stage, आपको समझ में नहीं आता speed. Main purpose is SSD, it's a bootable volume. HDD is not a bootable volume, it's non-bootable volume. वो बोलना है. Got it? And magnetic also bootable volume. Means launch करके operating system throughput में install करके देखो, समझ में आएगा. It's a very basic question, man. Like the same way how you'll have the SSD, मैं आप लोगों को आसानी से समझ में आने के लिए वो पढ़ाना बोल के सोचूंगा, आप लोग मेरे को वो क्या बोलते हैं, बैकफायर होता है कभी भी. Right guys? So how will have SSD? अभी बोल के क्या फायदा है ईश्वर? सुन लिया ना, इसीलिए बोल रहा है. राइट? So primary for bootable, logical to store the objects. You are unable to install the operating system into logical. Got it guys? So 3 primaries, 1 extender, with the help of 1 extender, 2 logical drives. 2 logical drives. If you want to can store the operating system, if you want to can store your data into primary. But logical drives, it's not like that. Only objects, data we are going to store. We are unable to install the operating system like your HDD in EBS. Got it? लास्ट में याद दिलाओ, बताऊंगा वो स्नैपशॉट ले लो EBS वॉल्यूम का. वो स्नैपशॉट की वजह से everything you are going to know. Only one diagram I made, not my laptop ना. Sorry. I'm thinking this is my laptop. Sorry guys. वो गया यार डेटा. Right guys. So let's see here. So फिर से आधा आ गया यार वो. Right. So I hope you got it guys. So primary for operating systems along with the data. Logical drive only for data, not for operating system. Right? So here E means extender. You are unable to store the data into the extended volume. We need to create the logical drives. With the help of that logical drives only we are going to. Okay? Right. So I hope you got it. So like this, we need to create the partitions in Windows. Same MBR partition schema only we are going to use in Linux. Right? So coming to Linux, did you remember how many partitions we did while we are installing the operating system? कितने partitions बनाए? 3. What are they? Root, boot, swap. Very good. One more additionally we did, that is home. Good ma, super. Right. So मैं बोल पा गया ना बोल के मैं सोच रहा था, very good, super. So मैं जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ समझ में आ रहा है, right? So I am testing myself. So I am testing not to you. मेरे सेल्फ मैं टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ आपको समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है बोल के. Very good ma. Mahani. Right. So let's see guys here. First partition, automatically it will create MBR. This is partition table in Linux. First partition, automatically it will create MBR. MBR stands for master boot record. Master boot record, right? So it will be available into your first sector of your hard disk. I'll tell you what is sector, what is cylinder, what is track, everything. Don't worry, give me some time. Right? So this MBR partition size is below 512 bytes, not MBs, not KBs, bytes. Below 512 bytes. It's a very small partition. It's available into your hard disk first sector. Hard disk first sector slash boot will have, right? Okay. So this MBR, it is going to connect to the slash boot. And then with the help of MBR only, we are going to boot the operating system. Got it guys? So this is master boot record. MBR stands for master boot record. The size is below 512 bytes. It's available where? Into your first sector of your hard disk. I'll tell you what the sector, don't worry. Okay. So next, how many partitions we did as of now? Root, root, boot, swap, root, primary partition, right? And then boot, also primary partition, also primary partition, boot also, slash VOOT. Next, swap, swap, also primary partition, because those three partitions are for whom? For primary, three partitions, it belongs to operating system, right? Yes, no? Swap, okay, swap also primary partition, right? Three primary. Remaining space will have total 40 GB hard disk be taken while we are trying to creating the operating system, means while we are trying to creating the virtual machine at the time, 40 GB. In that 30 GB we utilize for operating system. Remaining 10 GB space will have, right? So remaining automatically it will convert into extended. So from here to here, this is extended partition. Extended partition, right? In that extended partition, remaining partitions it will create. For example, home. We did home, right? Home partition slash home slash home. Remaining raw partition. Remaining space 10 GB raw space will have. Now we are going to use to perform the practical session. So this is Linux partition table. Same how we discussed now, like the same way. First partition automatically it will create 512 bytes, below 512 bytes, that is MBR. It's available into the first sector of our hard disk. Next, forward slash primary partition, boot primary partition, swap primary partition, remaining extended. Then with the help of extended remaining partitions you can create like home, like whatever it may be according to requirement, OPT, like this partitions you can create. I hope you clear. So coming to Linux, we need JCBs, right, to format. If you need to install those all, always we need to format, right? So we require JCBs, right? So what kind of JCBs will have in Linux? We have ext file system. Ext, this is very old. Okay, it's very old file system. We are not utilizing nowadays ext. Then ext2, then ext3, then ext4, right? So ext3, ext2, ext4, and nowadays we are using XFS. XFS. So ext2 doesn't have journal feature. No journal feature. Journaling. Got it, guys? So ext3 having journal feature. I'll tell you what is journal. Don't worry. Journaling, journal feature, whatever if you want to can say. ext2 doesn't have journal feature, right? And ext3 having journal feature. So journal feature means automatic recovery. For example, suddenly while you're trying to working at the time, power it's gone. For example, you are using Windows laptop. Suddenly it got shut down because of power. Sometimes what will happen? It is not going to start again. So you are going to get one error, boot failure like that. Press any key to continue. NTLDR is missing, like the errors we are going to get. At the time, if you reboot the Windows laptop twice, you are going to get the repair option. If you are reboot the operating system twice, you are going to get the repair option. If you click repair, sometimes we can recover those all the lost files. Yes, no, that is called journal feature. We can recover the data. That is called journal feature. Got it, guys? Clear? So journaling means to recover the data easily. Power loss will have sometimes. At the time suddenly we are going to lose the bootable files, some data. So we can recover with the help of journal feature. So ext3 having journal feature. ext3 having journal feature. ext2 doesn't have journal feature. And one more thing, while you are trying to converting ext2 to ext3, you are going to lose the data. Okay, you are going to lose the data while you are trying to converting ext2 to ext3. For example, old operating system having ext2, now you are trying to converting ext2 to ext3 file system. What you will have the data, you are going to lose. You are unable to get the backup. And coming to ext4, by default RHEL 6.0 operating system, it having ext4. By default 6.0 operating system, it having ext4, right? So while you're trying to ext4 having journal feature, if you want to switch on, switch off like that. Okay, so if you're trying to converting, right, if you're trying to converting ext3 to ext4, we'll have the backup option. We are not going to lose the data, we can get the backup. For example, maybe the situation got demand, so you need to convert from ext3 to ext4 file system. ext2, ext3, ext4, those all our JCBs. How will have the FAT16, FAT32 NTFS in Windows, like the same way coming to Linux, ext, ext2, ext3, ext4 XFS. So while you are trying to converting ext3 to ext4, you are not going to lose the data. We have the backup option. We have backup option, right? Coming to XFS, RHEL 7.0 onwards, they introduced to us XFS. It's a Unix based file system. Directly you can communicate with Linux machine to Unix machine with the help of this file system. It's the latest one, right? So ext4 it will support till 1 EB. XFS it will support till 8 EB. Got it, guys? I think from 8.0 onwards they got increased, right? I'll tell you the differences between those three. Don't worry. I have downloaded few images from internet itself only. Don't worry. So let's see the difference between ext, ext2, express. Got it, guys? Let's see, guys, here. So here we'll have differences between ext2, ext3 and xfs. No one they are using nowadays. Everybody they are using xfs only. From 7.0 onwards it will support xfs. So that's why 99% industries they are using xfs only. No one they are bothering about ext4 because we need to learn the differences. So that's why. Right, let's see, guys, here. Coming to ext2, it will support 16 GB to 2 TB maximum file size. Maximum file size is 2 TB file size. Coming to here also same 16 GB to 2 TB ext3, and here 16 GB to 16 TB file size. File system size means total your hard disk. File system size minimum 2 TB, maximum 32 TB it will support. More than 32 TB it won't support into ext2. Coming to ext3 also same 32 to 32. So I said na ext4 1 EB, and there is no journal feature here. There is no journal features here. Here we'll have, but it won't work properly. But here we'll have, we can switch off, switch on like that. And then how many directories we can create in ext4 unlimited. So coming to here, we'll have some limits. Got it, guys? Next, the differences between ext4 and let's see, guys. So ext4 means extended file system. XFS means extends file systems, right? So in 6.0, in 7.0 onwards, 7.0 latest versions, all the latest version having XFS only, and then it will support 1 EB, it will support 8 EB, and this is maximum files as 16, and here 8 EB. So here maximum name size 255 bytes. Here also same. Almost if you go to any operating system, file size 255 only will have maximum 255 bytes only will have, right? 4 billion, and here 2 to the power of 64, right? And this is a command we need to assign the partition. This is a command we need to assign the partition. So here unlimited subdirectories we can create, but here we'll have limit 64,000 limit. So I hope you got it, guys. Clear? The differences, I'll upload those all the like images, don't worry. I have downloaded from internet itself only, right? So clear, guys? Yes, no? Right. So how many of you know 1024 MB is equal to how much? Huh? How many of you know about GBs, MBs? 1024 GB is equal, MB is equal to how much? Huh? 1024 MB is equal to 1 GB. That's it, now. 1024 GB is equal to 1024 GB is equal to 1 TB. 1024 TB is equal to 1 BB. Clearly bolo. 1024 TB is equal to how much? 1 PB. 1 petabyte. 1 PB. 1024 PB is equal to not zettabyte. 1 EB. Exabyte. Something will have. Okay. 1 EB. Our RHEL 6.0 ext4 file system, it will support till 1 EB. XFS more than 8 EB. Got it? 1024 EB is equal to how much? अभी बोलो जीबी जेटाबाइट. वो कब से की बोल रहे हो जीबी 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 बोल के? जब बोलना है तभी नहीं बोल रहे हो. 1024 GB is equal to 1 YB yottabyte. 1024 EB is equal to 1025 YB is equal to 1 BB protobyte. उसके बाद में मेरे को भी पता नहीं, इसके बाद में नहीं है, गूगल में सर्च कर लो. 1 BB proton byte something will have. If you want, you can search a full form into Google. Okay, I didn't remember. Basically we can't reach BB, so I'm your master, right? I need to reach. Okay, so got it. Right, guys, I hope you're clear. So those all, remember, this is for general knowledge purpose. Our laptop, it will support, means our RHEL 7.0, it will support till GB. Nowadays, like new update we got 1 GB, actually 8 GB, like that it will support, right? So it will support till 1 GB. I hope you got it, guys. I hope you're clear. Right? Yes, no? Right. So now, how to know the partitions in after BB? Don't have, guys. Search in Google. Search in Google and ChatGPT also. मगर वो provide करेगा, but actually there is no official word after BB. Right. So let's see, guys, here. Right. So how to know the partitions in Linux? Guys, we need to use those command fdisk. I think like few people they're asking, sir, what is fdisk -l? What is fdisk -l? While I'm trying to teaching sudo permissions at the time. Today we are going to discuss, not today, maybe tomorrow. Right? Fdisk are parted. If you having time, then we'll discuss today only, no issues. By 10 only, na. Right? So fdisk -l parted -l. Those both the commands we are going to use to list the partitions. To list the partitions. Got it, guys? Both the commands. If you want, you can use fdisk -l. If you want, you can use parted -l. I hope you got it, guys. Okay, right. So, how many types of hard disks we have? Leave about EBS. आप लोग कैसा EBS पता नहीं है. At least in our laptops, in our desktops, how many types of hard disk will have? Tell me. How many technologies will have HDD? In EBS, if you want, you can make a note. वो डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं है मेरे पास, वो मेरा सिस्टम खराब हो गया. First, three types of EBS volumes will have. Three types, right? First type, SSD. SSD stands for solid state drive, right? Okay. SSD having two types again. General purpose SSD and provision IOPS. Two types. Got it, guys? Make like tree structure. EBS is a heading. EBS is a like this, guys. आप लोगों को लिखना भी नहीं आता, हाँ? Like this. Okay. EBS. Okay. And then under EBS हम लोग डायरेक्टरी ट्री स्ट्रक्चर बनाने के टाइम पे बोला था ना, वैसे लिख लो, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा क्लियरली. Got it, guys? And then SSD having two types, general purpose SSD and provision IOPS. So general purpose SSD having two API names. One is GP2, GP3. API name terminologies are important. Got it, guys? Okay. GP2 and GPT general purpose. Coming to provision IOPS. IO1, IO2. And nowadays recently they introduced to us IO2 advanced version. Now official content you'll have check. परसों ही पढ़ाया था ना बेसिक AWS उन लोगों को, इसीलिए याद है. Right? Got it, guys? Coming to HDD. Another drive is a HDD. Make a note in brackets. SSD is a bootable volume. SSD is a bootable in brackets. SSD रहता है ना, उसके बगल में है ना brackets में bootable बोल के. This is a main difference. Okay? मैं यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं लिख रहा हूँ बोले तो this is out of syllabus ना, इसीलिए आपको dictate कर रहा हूँ. चाहिए तो लिख लो, right? If you want to can make a note. This is belongs to AWS, right? So SSD is a bootable volume. HDD is a not a bootable volume. It's non-bootable volume. HDD is a non-bootable volume. In HDD, we'll have two types again. One is throughput optimized, right? Another one is cold HDD. So ST1 and SC1. SC1. Got it, guys? परवाने यार IQ है मेरा अभी भी. Right. Okay. SC1, ST1, and then cold HDD. Cold HDD का API names नहीं है, only cold HDD. COLD, cold. हम लोगों को cold होता है ना, वो HDD है. Cold HDD. Cold HDD also having API names, right? Cold HDD कितने किस्म के यार? With no API names, I think. Only cold HDD, right? And finally, magnetic standard. Magnetic standard are previous generation HDD. Clear now? अगर कोई पूछा, SSD is a bootable, HDD non-bootable, magnetic standard is a bootable. We can install the operating system into SSD and magnetic standard, but we are unable to install the operating system into HDD. HDD means throughput optimized and cold HDD. In the both the volumes, we are unable to install the operating system for store the data. That's it. For storing the objects only we are going to use. Right. Good. Okay. So leave about that, and then we are discussing about our laptop hard disks. How many types of hard disks we'll have in our laptop, in our desktop, in servers? Yes, guys. What are they? ये भी 3 है. 3 only. How many types of hard disks we'll have in our laptops? HDD, 3 only. What are them, Abhishek? Abhishek, Abdul Asrar. Who's this guy, man? New guy. Asrar. I think he's a old guy only, but regularly attend नहीं कर रहा है शायद. Huh? HDD having three types. One is ATA. ATA. This is not a Omkar show, guys. Telugu people. Omkar Annaya. It's not Omkar Annaya show. ATA. Okay. So SCSI. Not Kasi. Kasi పగలు అయి కాదు. SCSI SCSI. ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు ఉంటారు ఖచ్చితంగా ఇలాంటి చెప్పేవాళ్ళు. SCSI SCSI. నాట్ కసి పగ. ఓకే. SCSI SCSI. And then you know very well, right, about SSD. Nowadays SSD. NVMe SSD almost both are same. NVMe, it's we are going to connect on top of the motherboard directly. Normal SSD, SATA SSD, we are going to connect with the help of small connectors. Right, got it, guys? ATA having again two more types. ATA having again two more types. One is IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Device Electronic. It's a very old technology. Or PATA. PATA. And we have one more type, that is SATA. PATA के ज़माने से मैं ना हार्डवेयर कर रहा था. Only I know at the time, because after that I left that job and then the technology. Not Rita ma, okay? Right? Rita Meta Bata in Tamudu, I know, right? I'm a fan of Pawan Kalyan, don't worry. Once upon a time, अभी बुढ़ा हो गया हो ना, fan बोले तो अच्छा नहीं दिखता, right? Right.
If you need an assistive screen reader,
guys, Pawan Kalyan का उतना एज तो नहीं है मेरे को, मैं बहुत छोटा हूँ, right? NVMe connect on motherboard, yes ma, right? Got it, guys? Full form. ATA stands for Advanced Technology Attachment. ATA stands for Advanced Technology Attachment. SCSI. Actually, SCSI hard disk is a bit expensive. Nowadays, I think SCSI also no one they're using. Advanced technology, SCSI also. Compared to ATA, it's a little bit advanced. But we are unable to find SCSI hard disk into our laptops. Only servers. We have ESXi servers in data centers. Right. VMware ESXi servers will have. In the ESXi servers only we are going to use SCSI technology. SCSI is a bit advanced, it's expensive. Right. But nowadays no one using SCSI. Everybody they are adapting SSDs. I hope you got it, guys. SSD full form. SCSI full form. Small computer system interface. Small computer system interface. I have started the career from that itself only, hardware networking itself only. Then MCSA, CCNA, router configurations, switches configurations, everything I did. So because of that, I know that much of basic knowledge. This basic is a very, very important for your cloud. If you have a good knowledge in legacy, easily you are going to manage the cloud. ऐसे करके करोगे. Right. Okay. So SSD stands for solid state drive. Already you know. SSD also having two types: SATA SSD and NVMe SSD. IDE full form, Integrated Device Electronic. If you want, you can call PATA also. PATA means Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. Got it, guys? SATA full form. Doubt. Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. This is parallel. This is serial. Compared to PATA, little bit advanced technology. SATA. PATA is a very old. We have ribbon cables. 48 pin ribbon cable, 42 I think, 45 something ribbon cable will have. So with the help of that ribbon cable, we are going to connect this one, right? I hope you got it, guys. Clear?
Now type your
Okay.
credentials.
So you have work on many platforms. Yes, ma. Yes, Abhishek. But no one there recognizing me. What will do?
Mission
Recognition is important,
You're
right?
almost up.
जितना भी रहने दो कुछ problem नहीं है. Recognition is important.
Now we have some important
Got it, guys? Now, what type of hard disk will have into our operating system? Means into our laptop, into our virtual machine. How we need to know? Fdisk -L or parted -L. Then how we need to identify? DVHDA. DVHDA means if you get this DVHDA, right?
Sit back and relax
Then you
while
need
we
to
work on
understand this is what IDER PATA, old
Please don't turn off your device.
old one. DVSDA, SATA or SCSI or SSD.
Still setting things up.
DVVDA, virtual HDD. In your EBS volume, if you want to can check, you will have XVD, XVDB, like that. VDB means virtual. Got it, guys? Clear? If you execute fdisk-l command, then you are going to get, if you are getting DVHDA, means you need to understand it's a very, no one they're going to get this nowadays, because no one they're using IDE, PATA, HDDs. Then DVSDA you are going to get. So SATA, SCSI or SSD. Not SDA, VDA you are going to get. Mayur, in EBS you are going to get XVDA, XVDB, but root volume having SDA. Okay, but normal volumes having XVDA, XVDB, like that. EBS volumes. Very good. So got it, guys? Do you know the difference between normal volume and root volume? Better. At least वो समझ में है. I hope you got it. Which having the operating system, that is root volume. If you are attaching additionally EBS volumes, that is normal additional volumes. Got it, guys? Clear? So now we are going to check how we need to check the hard disk type. This is all about theoretical part. I hope you are very clear, right? Still we have some theoretical part. While we are doing the practical session, at the time you are going to understand. If you having any doubts, any questions, as of now, please